Any other doubts, Sushila?
No.
Okay, thank you. And so today's topic is account structure. So as I told you yesterday, account structure is a combination of main accounts and financial dimensions. So we can plan how the dimensions or which dimension values has to be applicable for the main accounts or a combination of main accounts. Suppose I have different main accounts, like I have expense accounts, revenue accounts, inventory accounts, assets accounts, balance sheet accounts, and liabilities accounts. So I have different categories in main accounts. So which category of main accounts need which financial dimensions, or do they need all the financial dimensions that we have created? So we have created three financial dimensions yesterday. So what are the three financial dimensions we have created yesterday? Can anybody repeat?
MRF location, MRF department,
Department,
and
location, and
MRF
cost
cost
center.
center.
Cost center. So we have created MRF locations, MRF departments, and MRF cost centers. Three. Suppose for my balance sheet accounts, I only need location as well as the department. But for my profit and loss accounts, I need three of them. So in that case, how we can achieve such scenario, or how we can configure our account structure in such scenario? First, let us see how we can configure the account structure. Later, we see the scenarios. Okay. So I am here in this environment. I'll change my legal entity back to MRF. So MRF. I'll try to duplicate this tab. In the duplicate tab, I'll open the financial dimensions that we have created yesterday. So navigation to financial dimensions, can anybody guide me through that?
General ledger.
Okay, general ledger.
Accounts,
Dimensions,
chart of
chart of
accounts.
Chart of accounts,
account,
dimensions, and financial dimensions.
financial dimensions.
Good.
And new value of form.
No, we are not creating any dimensions. We'll just see that we have created yesterday. So we have all the list here. So I'll search with MRF. Okay. So I see three of them: MRF location, department, and cost center. So these are arranged according to the alphabetical order. Since MRF is common in all the three of them, the CDL will be the next criteria. So they are arranged in this way actually. So it doesn't matter, but we will arrange them according to our need in our account structure. So it's location, department, and cost center that we have created yesterday. Now we'll see how we can configure an account structure. So these account structures are key in selection. These account structures are key in defining or giving dictation to the system or conditions to the system, which main account should use which financial dimensions, and which main account should use which financial dimension values also. Okay, suppose I'll show you the configuration, and we'll go to the examples. Okay, so to configure the account structure, we have to go to general ledger again. It's again under chart of accounts. In chart of accounts, we have these structures here. Under structures, I have configure account structures. This one. So write down the navigation, general ledger, chart of accounts, structures, and configure account structures. So learning the navigations is important. So whenever somebody asks you, either in job or in interview, you have to directly say them that if at all they ask you the navigation of account structure or configuration of account structures, you can say that general ledger, chart of account structures, and account structures. Most of the employees or most of the consultant don't know this also. If you learn this properly, then you will have you will be understood as a person who is having good hands-on on this Dynamics tool. Okay. So I am clicking here on configure account structures. So I have few account structures that were configured, actually lot of account structures for different legal entities. So as I told you yesterday, account structure can be used for multiple legal entities also. One account structure can be used for multiple legal entities. But you can create separate account structures for separate legal entities according to the requirement of the client. Okay, first I'm creating one account structure. To create one account structure, I have to click here on new on the top. Click new. Give a name to this account structure. I'll give the name to this account structure as MRF account structure. So okay, I'll just give the same description here, MRF account structure. And here this field add main account is, most of them will use it as yes only, so it should be yes, because it's a combination of main account plus dimension values, right? So mostly we will have main account in the initial place, and then it will be followed by the dimensions. So we'll see how. So this add main account is kept as yes, and I am creating one. Okay, I just clicked on new, gave the name and the same description, and kept as add main account here, and I'm clicking on create. So if I click on create, I see this is created actually. We'll discuss step by step. First I'll discuss this menu, so next this menu, and later, first this, later this, and next this menu, and later the top menu. We'll see one by one, step by step. So here it selected star mark. Star mark means all the main accounts. So all the main accounts are valid. Whatever the main accounts you have in the chart of accounts, so those will be valid. You will link chart of accounts plus this account structure to a legal entity. So it will work according to the chart of account and the account numbers in the chart of accounts and this account structure that you have configured here. So in our chart of account, the number series, what we gave the number series. So we did not link all of them yet, but still we are configuring our planning, right? So we will go with the same number sequences that we have, or the same number format that we have given for our main accounts. So which number format we have given for our main accounts? Anybody have any idea?
1 lakh.
Yeah, it's 6
1
digits,
lakh.
right?
Yeah, 6 digits.
Starting from 1 lakh.
1 lakh.
Okay, 1 lakh, 2. So for 2, you can use this symbol, 2 dots. You can see 2 dots, right? So 1 lakh 2. So until how many? What is our last number? 6 lakhs 999, right? So for suppose if we have more accounts, so 9 lakh 999 will be my last account. So 1 lakh to 9 lakh 999. I am using all the main accounts here. Okay. So we'll go step by step. We can also break this chain and give segment by segment. We'll see that. But here the condition is that I am giving for all main accounts. Then here I have some options: add or remove or duplicate or validate, add segment and segment actions. First, let us see this. Later we'll come back here. Okay. So as I told you, the basic definition of account structure or the purpose of account structure is to combine the main accounts with financial dimensions. So we have added main accounts here, the series of main accounts that are applicable for this account structure. So we have to add financial dimensions as well. So in order to add financial dimensions, we have this option here, add segment. You can see it here, add segment option. So if I click on add segment, on the side I can see all the financial dimensions that I have in my system. And most important is all of them should be active. If they are active, then only I can see all of them here. So these 3 that we have created yesterday, all of them are in status active, so that I can see them in the list here. So here where we can see it, we will go for MRF with the M series. So here we have 3: cost center, department, and MRF location, MRF department, and MRF cost center. So we have to arrange our financial dimensions in such a way that the broader one will comes first and the next, it comes level by level. So if at all we see cost center, department, and location, the broader one is location, because within a location we have an office, and within that office again we'll have department, right? So the broader one will be location, the next one will be department, and cost center is an additional one. Actually, it can't be considered as a broader one or smaller scope, but it can be a separate financial dimension. So let the cost center be in the last. So I am selecting MRF location first here. So I click on MRF location and click on add segment here, so that MRF location will be appearing here. Okay. So now I want to add another financial dimension along with this. So the next financial dimension I want to add, I'll click on add segment here. Then I can see the other two MRF dimensions that are here. I'll select this MRF department next. Just click on it and click on add segment. So it will be added here. Again, I'll click on add segment. I'll also select this MRF cost center. It's here. Click here and click on add segment. See, all the three are added. Now I see this option star mark. Star mark indicates again all values are accepted. So whenever I select any of this main account for any transaction purpose, I can give any of the location value. I can give any of the department value. I can give any of the cost center value. In the combination of these main accounts, if I use any main account from this series, I can give any value from these three financial dimension values. So under location, we have values, right? What all values we have under location? Hyderabad, Bangalore. So all like that we have. So we have also have numbers 100, 101, 102 and 103, which means Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai and Mumbai. So if at all I select give star here, by default it will say star. Star means whenever I do any transaction, I can give any value from these four values of locations. I can select any values. I can't ignore it, ignore with not selecting any value. So suppose if I'm using any main account here and I'm doing any transaction, I should definitely select one of the location value if it is star mark. You cannot leave it blank. You cannot just go without selecting the value. You cannot post any transaction without selecting a location value. Any main account, if you use from this series, you have to definitely give one of the location value to that main account. Yesterday I have showed you, right, in journal creation. You should definitely give that value and then you have to proceed with the transaction posting later. So if at all you want to leave it blank or you want the liberty to leave it blank since you don't want to use any location value, for that you have to enable this option. So down you have blank values are allowed. You have to click here on the location, then click on blank values are allowed. Then what happens is this additional symbols will be added. This symbols double columns, two double columns indicates blank values and this one in between, this indicates actually, I mean this symbol indicates under. The in between symbol indicates under. So now what happens is you can select any of the value from these four values of MRF location, or you can also leave it as blank, but the system will allow for you for the transaction posting. So you gave the condition here, this one blank values are allowed. But for department, again, you have to select one of the value compulsorily. You can select all the values in that you can, you can select any of the value from the existing four values for departments, finance, HR, sales and marketing and operations while doing a transaction. But you should compulsorily select one of the value. Without selecting or with empty value, you cannot post a transaction. System will not allow you further to post a transaction. So that's the condition here. So for this, if you want to allow blank, you can click here on blank values are allowed. So that's one. Again, the same for cost center. You can select one. So okay, whenever we do any transaction, first we have to select a main account. Then we have to select the location, then the department, then the cost center. The hierarchy or the line of selection will be like this. First main account, then location, then department, and then cost center. So my friend Susila is having a doubt yesterday that I only want to select two locations here. I don't want all the values, neither I don't want to leave it blank. Okay, I only want to select two locations. So if the star mark indicates that I can select all the locations in any journal while I am doing a transaction, but I don't want that kind of condition. I want only two location values that I have to select. Although I have four, but I only use two values for now. So for that, how you can configure is you can configure 100 and this symbol is there, right? So this symbol is unsymbol. That full stop and comma, yes, both of them is having what we call as semicolon, right?
Semicolon.
Semicolon. So that semicolon symbol is you can select here 100 and 101. So that only two values are allowed. Whenever you do any transaction, you can select one of the values, either 100 or 101, and you cannot leave blank also since you don't have this blank symbol right here. So If you want that blank symbol, again you can select it here. And again you see this blank symbol here. So you can either select these two values or you can leave it blank while you are doing a transaction using this main account, any of the main account from these main accounts. So that's my condition and that's how I can give it. So I can also give it like this. 100 to 101. So you don't have anything in between, right? So 100 and 101 will be selected. This indicates that is between and includes. So you can see the condition name here actually. So generally if I click here, so E is like star, MRF department is like star means all the values are allowed or any value can be selected from the department. So if I click here means, so you can see MRF location is between and includes. This double dots indicate is between and includes. Is between and includes 100 and 101, 100 to 101 actually. Since we don't have any number in between, you don't get any. But if I change it to 102 suppose, and if I just come back here and click here, refresh, see here, location is in between and includes 100 and 102. Which means I can select either 100, 101 or 102, or I can also leave it as blank since I have this option, blank values allowed option here. If I remove the blank values allowed option, I see only 100 to 102, which means I want to select any one of the value from the three values, either 100 or 101 or 102. So that conditions we have here is between and includes, begins with, ends with, is between, is greater than and includes, lot of options we have. Suppose I start with begins with and begins with 100. If I select here, if I click on apply, it's not applying. Actually, is begins with 100 and I click on apply. So here you see 100 and star, which means 100, not and symbol is not there. 100 is included with star, which means any number that starts with 100 will be selected. So any number that starts with 100 is only 100, right? So you can't post any. So suppose if I say any number that starts with 1, so 100, 101, 102, 103, everything starts with 1, right? So I can select any value that starts with 1. If at all in locations also I have two series numbers like 201, 202 like that, then those cannot be selected. Only one series can be selected. So that's a kind of condition. Nobody will use these many conditions for the dimensions actually. So for dimensions, either they will use star or is between and includes. One of them they will use, that's all. So I select a condition here and I can apply here. So you can either change it here directly if you know the symbols, or you can give the condition here and click on apply so that the symbols and the condition will be applied here. Either ways. So both of them will work in the same way. So this one and this one. And if you want blank values allowed option, you can select this one and you see this extra symbol added here. Blank values also will be added. So this is how we can construct a single line account structure. We can also construct multi-line account structure. That we can see now how we can create. Suppose that I have my cash accounts from 1 lakh to 1 lakh 10. So okay, only for my cash accounts, I always want finance department only. Okay, I don't want any other department whenever I do transaction with cash account. Cash account. Suppose I have 10 cash accounts totally, 1 lakh to 1 lakh 10. So only for those accounts, I want to give this finance department as a condition. So how can we achieve that is the question mark here. So in that case, what you can do is you can only give the account criteria as 1 lakh to 1 lakh 10 here. And what you can do is you can change this MRF department and what is the finance department value. So go to department and go to dimension values. Finance department value is 200. So what I'll do is I'll give 200 here. So for the remaining, I'll give everything is allowed and blank value is also allowed. So right. Only for 1 lakh to 1 lakh 10. But for the remaining accounts, again, I'll give a condition now. So for that, I'll add here. I'll add another line. So for the remaining accounts, right? Remaining accounts will start from 1 lakh 11 to 99999. So I can give different conditions here. So I can give all the values allowed here. So here I can give all the values allowed. Here I can give all the values and blanks are also allowed. But for these 10 accounts or 11 accounts actually, including 0 to 10. So all these accounts, whenever I do any transaction using one of these accounts, always the department value should be finance only. You cannot select anything other than finance, and system will not allow you to select and post a transaction other than finance department. And you should compulsorily select finance department. You can't leave blank also, since you don't have blank values are allowed. Comment condition also applied here. So that's one of the way you can divide and give separate financial dimension or value for individual accounts. But in case I have lot of individual accounts for which I have to give this separate dimension value. Suppose for one account I want one, for other account I want one, like that I have 100. For you can create 100 lines if you want, but that's not a recommended way to create 100 lines. For that we have another process called as advanced rules. We'll discuss that at the end of general lecture actually. Okay, or else for each main account you can give default dimensions also under legal entity overrides. We have seen that topic. We'll again rewind that topic once we create all these things. But account structure also gives you a feasibility to divide your main accounts or the series of main accounts and give different conditions for your financial dimensions combinations along with those set of main accounts. Got some clarity, guys? It will be a little confusing initially, but this is one of the main topic or the one that controls the entire accounting process in the Dynamics. So this account structure controls conditions here controls the total accounting process. So you have to clearly understand this. Let me know if you have any doubts until here. Anybody? Bala, you're silent today.
I'm just trying to understand.
Can you explain the scenario where it like application?
Application. Okay. Until and unless I add this and create a journal, I can't explain, but I'll try it in another legal entity. Okay.
Actually, yesterday you gave an example for travel expense like that. In which way we will link up this?
So I'll tell you. I am going for USMF. Okay. Just an example. So I'm going for general ledger, general journals. So generally we can see the scenarios in the next class. Actually, after configuring this, we'll link everything to the legal entity and we'll do transactions. So that's the process. But since you have doubt, I can explain it here. It's loading in USMF, but you can't see the same account structure in USMF. The account structure, the main accounts, and the combination of dimensions will be entirely different in USMF again. So let me see. Let me go for one of the journal which is already created here. I'll go for this. So this is an entirely different company, different account structure and different conditions. Okay, I'm just trying to show you an example. That's all. So go with an assumptions only. So here in our account structure, I gave a condition like, and if I use any account from 1 lakh to 1 lakh 10, any account from these 11 accounts, always the department value should be 200 or which is finance department only. Okay, so we have given 200 dimension value for finance department, right? So suppose if I go to journal and select any of the account from that particular number, like from 1 lakh. So I don't have that 1 lakh account also. But assume that this is the account that falls into that. Okay, it falls into that range. So here I see department, right? Normally I see all the financial dimension values here, the department values. But in case if I frame a condition like this, for this particular main accounts, I only see finance only. The other will be the other dimension values will disappear. I only see finance here, value number 200 and finance. and I can select only that finance. That's all. If at all I don't select also, system will give me a warning message saying that it's not selected or necessary financial dimension is not selected. You can't proceed ahead with the journal posting without selecting that financial dimension value. So that's how system will control it or control the users while posting the transactions. It will force them to select the dimension value that is given as a condition here.
So if we given the condition as allow all the values, then all the
They can
I
select
mean,
any of the value in the list. So
okay,
here you can
okay.
see all the values right in the
All the
list.
department. Yes, yes.
All the departments. You can select one of the department from all the
Okay.
values.
Okay.
If I say the condition that yellow blank, here yellow blank is also, this one is also given, then I can also yellow blank, or I cannot I don't select any dimension value. See, you can see here system will allow me, it will not show me any warning. But in other case, if I sell that one, if I off this yellow yellow blank values option, then if at all I don't select any dimension values here, system will give me a warning message that dimension value selection is compulsory. You have to select any of the dimension values or the necessary dimension values or the given condition values, whatever the value that we have given here, you have to select that value definitely to complete this journal. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll apply this more in while we do transactions. We'll see that will be in the next class, definitely next or the next class. We do transactions using this, but
Like
for
this, we can like this only. I mean, from 0 to 1,10,000 you have created. Now, like this, we can create the multiple main accounts, right?
yeah, you can also
So
break this chain. So you can also create
yeah,
for 1 series to 2 series you can create, or
expenses and
uh,
revenues.
yeah, you can create like that. Suppose here I
Oh,
can give 1 lakh to 3,999,000, which will be my
PL balance sheet item.
asset balance sheet and equity as well as balance sheet
Yeah,
also we have, right? So we have
and other
4,999,000 assets, liabilities, equity and balance sheet items. Total
own
1 series, 2 series, 3 series and 4 series. So this is showing warning because here I have the same accounts, right? From 1,11,000 to the remaining accounts I have here also I have. So it is saying two different conditions are there. So it overlaps generally.
yeah.
So we should have similar condition, or we should not have same accounts again here. So I am removing this. I'll again create it. Okay. So for profit and loss, I can give one condition and I can add my this balance sheet accounts, right? So for profit and loss, I can give one more. So my profit and loss starts from 5 lakhs. So I can give 5 lakhs to 7,999,000, right? So generally 5 series will be expenses, 6 series will be revenues, or that's how we did, right? Or 5 series are revenues and 6 series are expenses, something. So 5, 6 and 7. So other profit and loss also. For that I have different conditions here, you can see. So I can give it like this.
Okay. So if the client requires that for this particular accounts, the condition to be included, then we will give a condition for those accounts, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So if at all someone asks like for only the account number 6,999,000, I need a separate condition. What will you do then? Anybody?
Can you please repeat again?
Only for one account in this series. Suppose 6,999,000.
Okay.
6,99,999 is one account we have in
Okay.
this series. For that account, then separate conditions are needed. Separate department value, separate cost center value are
So
needed.
we will give that main account individually and we'll give the
Okay.
condition.
So you mean to say like we will give the conditions like this. So until 6,99,998 we'll give one. Okay, we'll add the account. So that account 6,99,999 here
Yeah.
separately. And then again we'll add one more, which is saying like 7 lakhs. Sorry, 7 lakhs
7
to
lakhs to
the other anything. 7
yeah.
lakhs to 7,999,000 for suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
This for that individual main account, we will create a condition
hmm,
and we'll configure that.
It's one way you can do it like this.
Okay.
Got it, guys? Understood the scenario here? All of you?
One
Yes.
second, sir.
So I want to give separate conditions for one account, 6,999. Okay. So I want to give value number 201, which is HR department, right? So I want to give only HR department for this single account whenever I do transactions. Okay, assume that this is a payroll expense account, and I always want to give HR department for this whenever I do transactions using this account. So how I can break this like this. So until 5 lakh to 6 lakh 9998, I can give separate conditions, and for 6 lakhs only this account, I can give this condition, and again for the remaining series, I can give other conditions. If at all I want any other conditions, I can give here. Okay, so this is one way. There is also another way other than this. So you can give the normal series only 5 lakh to 799, but for the single account, we can create an advanced rule. That advanced rule we can indicate that this for this main account we only need 201 value. So that will override the condition here, allow all values for this main account, and will only allow one value for that main account. So we will see that advanced rules configuration later, but you can use either account structure. I mean, you can break it like this. Most of the clients don't want to make the account structure look clumsy or break it like this for individual accounts. So for that purpose, they'll maintain advanced rules actually. Okay, but this one also will work definitely. I mean, this way also it will work. But if at all I have to give for 20 or 30 accounts, I can't give like I can't create 30 lines, right? I can create, but it will look clumsy. When you look at your account structure, you can't identify where the account is or where the issue is. So it would be difficult if you have multiple lines.
So in this scenario, for this particular account, I mean, can we select the condition for location as well, right? If
Yeah,
client
we can.
requires along with.
We can select. We can select the Hyderabad location here.
Okay.
Right. Hyderabad location. Whenever I do any transaction, I always get Hyderabad location and HR department. Only two values are allowed. I have
Or
to
may
select.
keep it as blank.
Yeah, you can
Right.
also keep it as blank if you want. You can allow it here.
Okay.
Perfect. Let me get my charger. Give me a second. There we go. So that's how we can use. Now I have a question for all of you who understood this topic until here. Okay. So for my balance sheet accounts, I want location and department. Only location and department. For other accounts, for profit and loss accounts, I want cost center as well. But for my balance sheet accounts, like from 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999, I only want location and department. I don't want cost center to be displayed in journals while creating journals also. So how can I do that? Any idea?
No, no idea.
No idea. So you see, I can't keep it blank also. If I keep it blank, by default, it will pick the star mark automatically. I can't make it blank also. So
Have
for
to
that,
remove that.
yeah, for that purpose, we have another way. We can create two account structures, one for profit and loss and one for balance sheet accounts. And you can link the two account structures to legal entity. Actually, you can create as many account structures as you want, but generally they'll create two or three, mostly two or three. Or they will go for one also. If at all for all the accounts they are allowing all the dimensions, or they want to maintain all the financial dimensions, they can go with one account structure. But according to my situation that I explained you, for my balance sheet accounts, I only need location and department. For my profit and loss accounts, I need everything, or I need all the three of them, location, department, as well as cost center. In that case, I can create a different account structure as MRF balance sheet separately. So I'll show you how to create that. I will show you at the end of the class. So when I create for these two accounts, then I mean this series of accounts for the balance sheet accounts, I can ignore this cost center adding segment. I can only add 2 segments. That's all. But for the remaining accounts, I can have 3 segments usually. So that's one.
Is that the only way to maintain, I mean, with these dimension values? Is that the only way? Because for balance sheet items and for P&L, you have
Yes.
the scenarios.
If you want separate dimensions for both the kind of accounts like balance sheet and profit and loss, that's the only way you have.
Okay.
You have to maintain multiple account structures.
Okay.
Okay, you
So
can't avoid.
initially only a client will give the requirement, right?
Yes,
So,
most of them will not use many dimension values for balance sheet accounts.
okay.
For balance sheet account, they only use few because they're not regularly used as far as confined to business, or they're not mostly tracked. Only few financial dimensions will be used for them. But for the profit and loss account, they will use all the available financial dimensions mostly. Okay. So here I have few options. You can see this option. I have this remove option. So this remove option, if I select this remove option, what happens is it will remove this line. So it is asking me either I would want to remove, yes I say, and it will remove this line. If at all I click on add, it will add another line. Then again I can give conditions here also if at all I need anything. If I want to remove, I'll remove it. Then there is another option called duplicate. What if I click on duplicate here? If I select this one and click on duplicate, means it will generally create a duplicate line with the same main account, same dimension values combination. Okay, suppose here I have different conditions for, I mean both of them are having same conditions. Still it is saying that there is a overlap. So here the account is overlapping with the same account. Even though you have same conditions, but there is a overlap of lines, right? So system will not allow the overlap of lines. We should have one main account in one line only. And suppose if I remove this, yes, okay. And I'll create, I mean, everything is removed now. Fine, then I'll also remove this and I'll create once again. It's okay. See, I have 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999 condition now. I'm creating another line and I'm selecting one of the account that falls into this range from 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999. So suppose I'll select this 3 lakh account here. So that is already in this range, within this range, right? But again, I'm selecting a separate account. So in that case, system will not allow me. So it will overlap actually. So how to know it is overlapped? I can click on validate. So when I validate, system will throw this error message. The row with main account overlaps with the row with this account. So this 3 lakhs is already selected in this range, falls in this range of accounts. So again, I have created this 3 lakhs, right? So it will not allow me. I can't do it like this. So I have to remove it. See, this warning message clearly indicates that one only. So that's how system functions.
Can you once again explain the duplication of this account?
Definitely. So my range here starts from 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999, 4 lakh 99,999, which means all the accounts starting from 1 lakh to this account will be having these conditions here. So now I'm creating another line and selecting one of the account that falls into this range already. So this 3 lakh account will already falls into this range, right? So it starts from 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999. So all the accounts will fall into this range. So here I have selected separately this 3 lakh account and trying to create another condition. Suppose I'll create this 201 condition here. And now if at all I want to save it or activate it, system will not allow. Before system allows, I can check if there is any overlap like this. So I can click on validate here. System says that this account with 3 lakh is overlaps with this row, because in this row already 3 lakhs will be selected, because here we have a range of accounts, right? So in this range already 3 lakhs is there. So you cannot create another one separately with different conditions. Even though with same conditions, you cannot create another line separately because it is overlapping. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So that I can use this condition for validation. Then add segment condition is again for adding these segments, adding the one of the financial dimensions if you want any of them. So another one option I have is segment actions here. Segment actions means to remove this segment from the dimension in this account structure, or to move this financial dimension to the left or right. Suppose if I select this department, if I want to move it to the left hand side, I can click here. I can click on move MRF department to left. So it will move to the left. If I click again to move it to the right, and it will move to the right. So according to the arrangement that you have done here, you can see that in the journal. Suppose in this journal, if I select this account, I can see first business unit and then department, right? So I have configured it accordingly in my account structure to have business unit first in the sequence and department in the next for this USMF. So in this sequence only it is showing. Suppose for our legal entity MRF, it will show as main account first, location next, department next, and cost center next. So that's the sequence we have given here: location, department, and cost center. It will show in the same manner. So if I want to remove this from this account structure, I can click on delete and it will disappear from here. So that's one way I have. So I don't want to remove this, so I'm not removing it. And I can give some active from and active to date for this particular line of account structure. If I want to give any, I can give. After this active to date, it will become inactive again. And I have to come back and remove the date or change the conditions if there are any. If at all I keep a condition to change that, I keep a date range, specific date for some purpose. So after that date is expired, system will inactive the account structure line, and this is not applicable again, or you cannot use this account or this dimensions. This accounts on any of these main accounts for your transaction purpose. Its system will not allow because it will become inactive. So most rarely people will use this account active from and active to. Not most of them will not at all use this dates again in the account structure, because account structure should be always active to create any transactions or post transactions or run the regular process activities. Without account structure being active, you cannot do anything. So that's one point, or that's with this menu. And I can see here it is in draft status. So this account structure can be used only when it is in active structure. So to activate it, we have the option here to activate. We'll see that. Okay. So any doubt until here, until this part? Creation of account structure and dividing the account structure, arranging them according to the range 5 lakh to 5 lakh 999. I'll give a different range, or I'll select here blank values are allowed. So here also I'll select blank values are allowed. Here also I'll select blank values are allowed. For this also I can select blank values are allowed. For this also I can remove and select star. So compulsory selection. Blank values are not allowed for this.
JP, I have a doubt.
Chep Sai.
ఇప్పుడు మనం బ్లాంక్ వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ అలౌడ్ అని ఇస్తున్నాం కదా, ఇస్తున్నప్పుడు యాక్చువల్ బిజినెస్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఎంటర్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో ఏమి సెలెక్ట్ చేయకపోయినా కానీ పర్వాలేదు అనినా?
అవును, అంతే. యువర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఇస్ కరెక్ట్.
ఇంకొకటి డూప్లికేట్ ఉంది కదా.
అవును.
ఈ డూప్లికేట్ దేనికి యూజ్ చేస్తారు? అంటే ఓవర్లాప్ అయిపోతుంది
అని తెలిసి కూడా ఎందుకు వాడుతున్నారు అంటున్నావు, అంతే కదా. నాకు సేమ్ ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చిన డైమెన్షన్ కండిషన్స్ నెక్స్ట్ లైన్ లో కూడా రావాలి సపోజ్. ఓకే, బట్ నేను డిఫరెంట్ అకౌంట్స్ వాడతాను. సో ఇక్కడ క్లిక్ చేశానా, ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది ఇది. ఇప్పుడు నేను అకౌంట్స్ చేంజ్ చేసుకుంటాను కావాలంటే. డైమెన్షన్ కండిషన్స్ మాత్రం సేమ్ వచ్చినాయి కదా, అంతేనా. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ నేను 7 lakhs ఇచ్చుకుంటా కావాలంటే అకౌంట్ నెంబర్, రైట్. సో ఇఫ్ అట్ ఆల్ దే హ్యావ్ మల్టిపుల్ హియర్, దెన్ ఒక్కొక్కటి ఇవ్వడం కష్టం కదా. సో అవి కాపీ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఒకేసారి, డూప్లికేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఒకేసారి, అండ్ డిఫరెంట్ అకౌంట్ ఇవ్వచ్చు వెంటనే, అంతే పర్పస్. గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్. And there is one.
How often we use this way?
How often we use what?
And this duplication feature.
Duplication, it's a one-time construction. Account structure is always a one-time configuration. Later, if you want to make any changes, you can make the changes in the conditions here, the dimension value conditions if you want. Okay.
I mean,
Mostly,
what I want to say is how important is this feature in, I mean, in terms of
the
implementation or
duplication
whatever?
feature does not have any recognition. Generally, they don't use this duplication and all. If at all you have 10 financial dimension values here, and if you want to use the same segments or same kind of conditions for the next series or next range, then rather than selecting or creating a new line, then if I create new line, everything will come as star. Again, I have to give conditions separately here. The values as well as blanks allowed or any conditions are there, I have to give. If at all I have individual values here like 200 to 202, 200 to 204 like that, and it will automatically copy or duplicate the same values here. But if I use admins, it will bring this lame everything, the star mark. So I have to again give the conditions manually one by one. So for that purpose, we use this. That's all.
So normally, when would such a situation arise where we'll be having this kind of repeated function dimensional values?
See, here I have 5 lakh to 5 lakh 999, right? Okay, I'm removing this. So for one account, I need different conditions. For the remaining series, I need same conditions. For 6 lakhs account, I need different conditions. Again, from 7 lakh to 7 lakh 999, I mean 6 series account, I need different conditions. For 7 series account, I need same conditions. Then what I'll do is I'll click on duplicate here. I'll give the same conditions. So I'll change this range from 7 lakh to 7 lakh 999. Right, so I'm only changing the numbers, but the conditions for dimensions will be same. For 6 lakhs, I'll create a new line and give different conditions. For 6 lakh to 6 lakhs 999. Sorry, I missed another point here. So this one, I can give different conditions like 100, like 200 here, or here blank values are also allowed. I can give this kind of condition. So for this, I have copied it automatically, right? The duplication, without manually entering everything. Understood?
So only for duplicating this, manual dimensional functional fields, we'll be using this functionality.
Yes, exactly. Nothing more than that. Okay. In case there are any overlaps, you can also use this option. Only show overlapping rows. We see we don't have any overlaps now. If at all we have any overlaps, and if at all you have multiple lines, like suppose you have 100 lines, and whenever you are validating, system is showing a warning message that something is overlapped. And that 100 lines of account structure, you can't find which is overlapping. So for that purpose, you can use this option, only show overlapping rows. Then it will show the rows only that is having the issue or having overlapping. Suppose I'll create add here. I'll create one more with one account, 7 lakhs 50,000 account. Okay. So now I'll validate it. It is showing error message. So I have 6 lines. I can see these warning messages here, which indicates these are overlapped. But I can easily click on here and I can see only those 2 lines here, which are overlapping. So these 2 are having issue. So I identify what is the reason, because this account is already in this range and I don't want this account. I'll remove this. Now I see the overlapping disappears, and if I click here, the remaining will show up. Understood?
Last point, sir.
Which one? The overlapping.
Yes.
So as I told you, if there is any overlapping, I can use this option. If there are 100 lines in account structure, for suppose, I can't find what are the 2 lines or 3 lines that are overlapping. I can't scroll down and see, right? So for that purpose, we have this option called show only overlapping rows. What it does is it will show me the rows that are overlapping. Suppose here I use the account again, the say 7,50,000 accounts, which is already in this accounts range. So system shows there is a overlap. So this account is already in this range of accounts, 7 lakhs to 7 lakh 999, right? So if at all I want to see only the rows with issue, I can click here and I can see the rows with issue, and I can fix this issue, and I can select this option again, show only rows with overlapping, and it will show everything. So I can fix the issue. I understood that this account is 2 times appearing here, which is already in this range, and again I have created into separately. So I will remove this separate one. So then the issue will disappear. and this will also go. And then I can see the normal. This time I don't see any overlaps. I can see all the correct ones or the lines without any issues. That's here. The overlapping is only with main accounts, okay, not with dimension values. It's only with main accounts. Whenever the main accounts are created twice or selected twice, then it will overlap. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's with this. Then we have this option. I mean, you can delete all of them if you want. I'll just remove all of them. I can create an account. I mean, I have already one line, right? So what I'll do is I'll give everything here itself. 1 lakh to 9 lakh 999. So every account will fall into the same condition. So I can give here blank values are allowed. Here I can give blank values are allowed. Here also I can give blank values are allowed. And I can I can activate this account structure. To use this, you have to activate it. Here I can also rename this account structure. The name that we gave earlier is this one, right? I can rename this if I want to. Suppose I want to use two account structures, one for profit and loss and one for balance sheet, as for the previous example. For the profit and loss, I'll use all the 3 dimensions, but for balance sheet, I will use only 2 dimensions, location and department. So how we do that? Here I only give profit and loss account. So profit and loss starts from 5 series, right? From 5 lakh to suppose until 9 lakh 999, I'll give this conditions, okay? And I'll rename this as MRF account structure. So I'll give here MRF P&L account structure, okay? Just click on rename here. I see this name is changed. MRF P&L account structure. MRF P&L account structure. So these are only the P&L accounts. 5 lakh to all the remaining. Now I can activate this. I can also duplicate the account structure completely. Here we have this option of duplication of account structure, but we don't use this often because we normally create separate account structure for balance sheet, right? We'll usually create manually, okay? We don't have to use it. Then you can also use this validate option. It will entirely validate everything again. Normally here the validation and here the validation almost work as the same. Then I can activate.
Balance sheet create this.
Okay, I'll activate this one until then. So I can activate it here. It usually activates in the batch job only. It will not activate in the front end. So here, if we activate in the front end, it may take some time. So I'll add the batch job. So it will run in the background automatically. So I'll click active here. So it is saying that it is added to batch queue. Now it is in activating status from draft status. Again, it will change to activate automatically activated. So we'll see that how it changes. So you can see it here. All of them are in active state. This one that we have created now is in activating state. Okay. So for profit and loss, we have created one. For balance sheet, we'll create one more account structure. So to create one more account structure, we have to again click on new here. I'll just give the name here as balance sheet account structure, MRF balance sheet account structure. I'll go with conditions. Give these details and click on create account. Main account is active. So whenever I click on main account is active, the main account segment will be added here. If not, the main account segment also will not be added here. If I say it as no, so it's always selected as yes only. So here, so we have to give the conditions for our balance sheet accounts, right? So what are our balance sheet accounts? It starts from 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999. So I'll give 4 lakh 999. Here I missed another dot. Okay, 1 lakh to 4 lakh 999 I gave. Then I said I only want 2 segments for my balance sheet accounts. So only location and department. So I can add them from here. Click on add segment. Click on the MRF location, add segment. Click on add segment again, select MRF department also and add. So whenever I use balance sheet accounts, I only want location and department only. Cost center will not show up in the journal at all. So here I see business unit and department, right? In the same way I see location and department. Cost center will not show up. So that's when we use balance sheet accounts. If at all I use profit and loss account, suppose, so this is another example. I mean, in another company, I'll select this one of the profit and loss account. Suppose I'll select one expense account. Okay, this purchase expense account. See, I see business unit, department, cost center, and item group, all 4-dimension values here in USMF, because for USMF profit and loss account balance sheet, they have 4 segments or 4 financial dimensions. But for balance sheet, they only have business unit and department, only 2. Cost center and item group are not applicable for balance sheet. In the same manner, for our MRF legal entity, whenever we do any transaction for our balance sheet account, we only see location and department, as we have given location and department here. But for profit and loss, we can see location, department, and cost center as well. So here for balance sheet account, we can't see cost center because we are not adding that segment. So that's how it works. Understood, guys? Susila, Seshu.
చెప్పి
చెప్పు శేషు.
ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఇక్కడ మనం బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ లో మనం 1 lakh నుంచి 499 ఇచ్చాం కదా.
అవును అవును.
అలాగే P&L లో మనం 5 lakhs నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసాం.
అవును.
ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ అంటే బై ఛాన్స్ లో ఏమన్నా అది 6 lakhs ఇచ్చామనుకో, ఐ మీన్ ఇది 6 lakhs ఇచ్చామనుకో, బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ లో
6 lakhs నుంచి ఇచ్చావు.
6 lakhs నుంచి కాదు, 1 lakh నుంచి
1 lakh నుంచి
5,999 పెట్టాం.
ఇచ్చావు.
అప్పుడు ఎట్లా అది ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్
అప్పుడు ఓవర్లాప్ అవుతుంది. అవును,
ఓవర్లాప్ కి అంటే మళ్ళీ ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ త్రో చేస్తుంది కదా.
ఓకే, గుడ్ ఐడియా. ఐ మీన్ ఓవర్లాప్ అవుతుంది ఎప్పుడంటే నువ్వు అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ 2 యాడ్ చేస్తావు కదా లీగల్ ఎంటిటీకి, అప్పుడు యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఓవర్లాప్ అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఇష్యూస్
ఓకే
చెప్తుంది ఇక్కడ 2 ఓవర్లాప్ అయినాయి, అందులో ఆ అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో ఈ అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో అని చెప్పేసి.
ఓకే,
సో యాక్చువల్గా ఇక్కడ నేను ఫ్యాక్సెట్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఎఫ్సిటీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసా, ఎంఆర్ఎఫ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేయాల్సింది. నవీన్ అదే చెప్తున్నాడు. సో ఐ విల్ రిమూవ్ దిస్, డిలీట్ ఎఫ్సిటీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్ అండ్ ఐ విల్ యాడ్ ఎంఆర్ఎఫ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్. థ్యాంక్స్ నవీన్. I'll add MRF department here. Right. You can select. Right. So అంతే శేషు. సో ఇక్కడ ఒకవేళ 2 అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్లో ఓవర్లాపింగ్ తీసుకుంటే అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడు లీగల్ ఎంటిటీకి ఇష్యూ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో నవ్ I can activate this account structure also. This is in draft status now. To activate, we can click on activate here. Activate and click on activate. It will be added to batch and it is in activating status now. If I go back, I can see this P&L is already active. Activate అయిపోయింది. And this will be activating. It will take some time to get activated. And one more important thing, guys, whenever you make any changes in the account structure, whenever you open this, suppose if at all you click on edit here and make some changes, or if at all you click on edit, it will automatically change to draft. And if you make any changes or may not make any changes, if you click on edit, it will change to draft. Suppose if you want to make any changes, you can make changes and again you have to activate the account structure. Without activating the account structure, any transaction cannot be posted. You cannot use any of the main accounts here in this account structure and post any transaction. But if at all your balance sheet is active, and you can use the balance sheet accounts for posting transactions, but this P&L accounts, main accounts will not be active or will not be available for posting transactions without activating the account structure. So you have to activate the account structure once you make any changes in the account structure. This is key, remember. Okay, very important point to remember. And one more, you can add only 10 segments here. Other than main account, you can add 10 segments here, 10 financial dimensions only in the account structure. You can't add more than 10 in the account structure. So including main account, you will totally have 11 segments. So one main account will be compulsory anyway. Other than main account, you will have 10 financial dimensions only within account structure. You can add 10 only. More than 10, you cannot add. You will see this add segment button will create out once after you add 10. Yeah. What is the question?
I have one question. Apart from location, department, and cost center, what are other things that might be coming here? I mean, 7 things will be. What might be those things actually?
It depends on the business. Whatever they want to use, they can use as a segment. There can be profit centers, there can be some revenue centers, sales units, there can be customers, products, product groups, employees, anything they want to use, they can use. Okay. It's not compulsory that you have to fill all the 10, but you can only take up to a maximum of 10 in the account structure. Okay. If client wants anything beyond 10, so beyond 10, the remaining can be configured in advanced rules. So this.
Yes.
Okay. You can only create maximum of 10 financial dimensions in account structure. So totally 11 along with the main account. But since it is one segment is fixed for main account, you can only create another 10 financial dimensions in combinations to those main accounts. If at all you want more, you have to create advanced rules. We'll see that topic later.
So what is the maximum we have seen in your kind of thing? Then
So
maximum.
Maximum I have seen is 15.
What?
15, 1-5.
Oh,
If it is more than 15, system will also perform very slowly. If it is 15 also, it will perform slowly.
yes.
Okay, for every transaction, you have to select 15 combinations, right? In every report, in every data table, wherever the data is saved, for every transaction, it demands more space. And it takes a lot of time to post those transactions or system to work. So as many dimensions you have, that's much slow system will perform. Okay.
Thank you.
It doesn't entirely perform very slowly, but it will decrease the performance speed. That's all. The number of dimensions that you use will decrease the performance speed since a lot of data has to be saved.
So is there any kind of situation wherein the client have realized that they have already more than actually required, or
there
can
are
they
some
again restructure it?
There are a lot of situations in support where they face a lot of issues or performance issues with some dimensions, and they'll decrease the dimension count if they'll remove the unnecessary dimension values, or they'll figure out another ways how to track them. Okay.
Okay.
So 15 is a very large number. Okay. Nobody will use more than 10, at least 10 or less than 10 only. Mostly they will use until and unless there is a very vast business structure and there were a lot of process activities, then they will use more dimensions. Okay. So now I'll also activate this one. Sorry for that. Since I have changed it to draft status, I have to activate. Now it will be activated. So I can go back, refresh this normally. So if I refresh this, where is this MRF? I can see here one is active, another one is activating, and it will get activated eventually. And you can see the structure here. Main account plus location plus department plus cost center. Here main account plus location plus department, only 3. Here 4. So remember these 2 points. So you have to definitely activate it. 1 point. Second point is you can only add a maximum of 10 financial dimensions. Total 11. One will be occupied by main account, and you can only add 10 financial dimensions here in account structure. For anything more, you have to create advanced rules. Okay.
I have one doubt.
Yes, Sushila.
Actually, as you have said that revenue centers will be one of the financial dimension, right? So here, if the client requires the particular revenue from the sales account, so how will be the combination? Can you give once?
It is not about the account actually. So suppose I'll tell you there is a car company. Okay. So suppose it's a Nexa company, Nexa car producing company, and they have their sales centers or showrooms, what we call. So they have their showrooms in Hyderabad, only in Hyderabad I'm saying, in 4 locations. One in Amirpet, Gachibowli, Lakdi Kapul and LB Nagar. 4.
Okay.
So these are called showrooms, only showrooms. So what happens in this, they don't have anything in, only they'll sell their goods, sell their cars from this So the revenue is always earned from this showrooms only,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So always the cars are sold through showrooms and revenue is earned through these showrooms. So they will create these showrooms as sales units or showrooms only. They can create a dimension as showrooms and they can create 4 showroom names. So whenever they sell any car or recording any revenue, so if at all they are selling a car from Amirpet location, they'll select the revenue account in the combination of Amirpet dimension value. Okay. So
Okay. Like,
whatever the
yeah, you have set the example for, only one sales revenue from the showroom only, they have a revenue from that particular business unit, right?
yes, exactly.
If they have the revenues from different, different areas,
Hmm.
then
Then they
like,
can create those areas as financial dimensions as well.
Simple.
okay.
See, again, there are 2 segments in revenues. One is main revenue. Main revenue is through car sales.
Yes.
Okay, for main revenue, they will have a separate main account, car sales revenue account. For
Yeah.
miscellaneous revenues like service, if you do service to a customer, they will again have a revenue for your company. So that is again through service centers. So showrooms is a separate segment of revenue. Service centers is a separate segment of revenue. Understood?
Yeah. Yeah.
So main sales is another revenue, providing services is another revenue. So you can create showrooms as a financial dimension and service centers as another financial dimension.
Okay.
Or else you can use a separate main account for, services.
Particular. Okay.
For main revenue, you can use car sales revenue account, and service revenue account, you can use another main account. It's 2 main accounts separately. So you can maintain in either ways. You can create 2 financial dimensions separately, or you can create 2 main accounts and create all the financial dimensions in a single dimensions only. All the dimension values, service center values as well as showroom values, all of them in single dimension only. You can do it either ways. So this is how you have to analyze the business need of the client and provide a solution in Dynamics. You can explain these 2 solutions. Client will opt any one of them, and accordingly will configure one. Understood?
Yeah, somewhat. Actually, have a doubt in like in how the scenario will be in particular areas like profit center, or else revenue centers. How will be the scenarios? I have a doubt.
See, every day you will record transactions. So you will record revenue transactions, and along with the revenue account, you will tag a location. The showroom value, showroom dimension value. Amirpet or Gachibowli or Lakdi Kapul or LB Nagar, you will tag. At the end of the day, what you will do is you will select one of the location value, and you can see all the total revenue earned from that location for that particular day.
Okay, now understood. Yeah.
So we'll see that how we can track the transactions and group them.
While posting the transactions, we will tag. So end of the day, if we want to extract that from any particular area or particular area, so we will extract that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Either revenues from sales or any expense or any P&L or any balance sheet extraction.
Okay. It all depends on the main accounts and the dimension values that you use. So the way that you use, you can track them again. Okay. If you miss using it, again that doesn't come into the track, or if you miss any dimension value assignment, or if you leave it blank, so it will be a question mark again to which showroom this revenue falls to. Again, you have to reconcile and see the reports from showrooms separately, and you have to understand.
Okay.
So in that case, that kind of things, they'll compulsorily use that dimension values to track their day-to-day or periodic revenues from each showroom.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for the question. And
it's okay.
And anything else, guys, in the account structure? So Saideep, Naveen, Seshu, Vamsi.
And while creating a dimension value for customers, you said yesterday we discussed that there will be dimension will be customers and the dimension values will be the names of the customers, right?
Dimension value will be the the number of the customer, and description will be the name of the customer. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's I have a doubt what the description we have to give. That is the doubt I have. Okay.
Customer
Now
code will be there, the number, unique number for customer. So
in
it will be the dimension value.
in the
Description will be customer name.
given. Okay.
Vamsi, any doubt?
జయ ఇది అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కొత్తది క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు యాడ్ మెయిన్ అకౌంట్స్ ఎస్ ఆర్ నో అని అడుగుతుంది కదా.
అవును.
అసలు మెయిన్ అకౌంట్స్ లేకుండా మనం ఈ డైమెన్షన్స్ అని యాడ్ చేయలేం కదా.
కొంతమంది మెయిన్ అకౌంట్స్ ఫస్ట్ పెట్టకుండా మధ్యలో కానీ లాస్ట్ కానీ పెట్టుకుంటారు, అండ్ ఇట్స్ ఎ ఫ్లాప్ అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ డెఫినెట్లీ. ఓకే, సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఐ క్లిక్ ఆన్ న్యూ హియర్, జస్ట్ టెస్ట్ అని ఒక నేమ్ ఇస్తున్నా. సో ఐల్ గివ్ ఇట్ as టెస్ట్ హియర్, అండ్ యాడ్ మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ చేయట్లేదు, ఆఫ్ చేశాను, క్రియేట్ చేశాను. ఓకే, ఐ సీ నథింగ్ హియర్. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు సెగ్మెంట్ ఫస్ట్ డైమెన్షన్ యాడ్ చేస్తాను, ఫస్ట్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ యాడ్ చేస్తా, సపోజ్ ఒక డైమెన్షన్. దాని తర్వాత మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ యాడ్ చేస్తా సెగ్మెంట్లో. ఓకే, మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ ఎక్కడో ఉండొచ్చు చూడండి. మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ ఈస్ హియర్, ఐల్ యాడ్ ఇట్ హియర్. దేర్ ఆర్ వెరీ రేర్లీ పీపుల్ యూజ్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్, చాలా రేర్గా. అండ్ ఇలా చేయడం వల్ల చాలా చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అండ్ అడ్వాన్స్ రూల్స్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయలేవు. బికాస్ ఇక్కడ బేస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఉంది, మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ లేదు, బేస్. ఇష్యూ స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి ఇక్కడ నుంచి. సో ఎప్పుడైనా ఫస్ట్ మెయిన్ అకౌంటే ఉండాలి, తర్వాత రిమైనింగ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ డైమెన్షన్ వాల్యూస్ ఉండాలి. సో ఇది ఎందుకు ఉందంటే అందుకే. అది ఇలా వాడకపోతే యాడ్ మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ అది రాదు ఇక్కడ. సో మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ని ఆ ప్లేస్లో కాకుండా ఏ ప్లేస్లో పెట్టుకోవచ్చు, నార్మల్గా అయినా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. సెగ్మెంట్ యాక్షన్స్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఇది మూవ్ లెఫ్ట్ కొట్టాను కదా, ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అకౌంట్ మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ ఉంది, నెక్స్ట్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఉంది కదా. మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ ఇటు మూవ్ చేయాలంటే సెగ్మెంట్ యాక్షన్స్లోకి వెళ్ళి మూవ్ టు రైట్ కూడా క్లిక్ చేయొచ్చు అలా.
ఇప్పుడు మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ ఆల్ ద మెయిన్ అకౌంట్స్ ఇచ్చి లైక్ బ్లాంక్ వాల్యూస్ అలో చేయకుండా ఇప్పుడు ఎనీ వాల్యూ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గెన్ ఎనీ వాల్యూ కదా వైల్ పోస్టింగ్ ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్. సో క్లయింట్ లైక్ క్లయింట్ కాదు, నార్మల్ సినారియోలో ఐ మీన్ నార్మల్ ఇప్పుడు అన్నిటికీ వాల్యూస్ ఇవ్వాలి కదా, ప్రతి ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఏదర్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ కానీ రెవెన్యూస్ కానీ అన్నిటికీ ఇవ్వాలి కదా.
అవును.
ఓకే, ఇట్ విల్ బి a problem, right? So
no, it's I mean it will వాళ్ళు అనుకున్న కండిషన్ అది, ఖచ్చితంగా డైమెన్షన్ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాలని చెప్పి. ఏ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేసినా డైమెన్షన్ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాలి, ఇంకా ఏదో ఒక డైమెన్షన్ వాల్యూ ఫిల్ చేయాలి.
ఓకే,
మోర్ ఓవర్ వాళ్ళకి చాలా క్లియర్ గైడ్ లైన్స్ ఉంటాయి, అండ్ అకౌంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ కూడా అలానే ఉంటుంది. ఏ సెగ్మెంట్కి ఏ వాల్యూస్ వాడాలని చెప్పేసి, లేకపోతే అడ్వాన్స్ రూల్ డిజైన్ చేసుకుంటారు. యూజర్స్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్గా వచ్చేస్తుంది డైమెన్షన్ వాల్యూ. లేకపోతే కొన్ని మెయిన్ అకౌంట్స్ కి, కొన్ని వెండర్స్ కి, కస్టమర్స్ కి డిఫాల్ట్ డైమెన్షన్స్ ఇచ్చుకుంటారు. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ దట్ వెండర్ ఆర్ మెయిన్ అకౌంట్ is selected, automatically that dimension value will populate in the journal or in the invoice.
all the documents to be given by requirements to be given by client kada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever client gives all these details, you have to configure accordingly.
Okay.
So we'll see that step by step again. How do we configure on, I mean default ga ela istam dimension values ane chuddam.
Okay.
So I'll delete this test account structure for now. So I see that our account structure that we have created for MRF. So I'll filter it with MRF here. It's not working. See here, MRF profit and loss, MRF balance sheet రెండు యాక్టివేట్ అయినాయి. రేపు లీగల్ ఎంటిటీకి లింక్ చేద్దాం, చేసి కొన్ని ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేద్దాం. ఓకే, సో that would be all for now. So practice it until here and let me know if you have any doubts in this part, account structures. Okay, and I'll stop the recording until here.